Yeah, he's one of Australia's most loved entertainers. A gold Logie winner, radio legend, TV star, author, and host of Lego Masters, Hamish Blake. Welcome.
Morning, gang. Two-time. It doesn't matter. Two-time.
Two-time winner.
Just for next time, you want to update your sheet.
I'll get the guys. Hey, we need to update the sheet next time we have Hamish in.
It does, winning 2 gold Logies, though, I should point out. If you ever want to realise that it's very much just a thing that is big for that one night rather than like legacy-wise. Because I often get people going, "You've won one of those, haven't you?" I go, "I've actually won 2, but no one remembers."
Where do you keep them? Because you hear like Larry Emder's story and Scotty Cam. They've got all these background stories. Where do you keep yours?
Look, I've got one. One is at home on the shelf.
Yep.
Next to the good plates.
Not a doorstop? You couldn't use it for a doorstop?
No, it's always there. It's always should we have a light door? And then the other one's at my mum's house because
beautiful.
Oh, yeah. She's proud.
Oh my God. I should actually have both of them there, but she's in Melbourne. So if I can remember next time I go down, I'll just give her the set because it is catnip for mums. They it's their favourite thing in the world. And when their friends come over too, it does far more good at her house than it does at mine.
Now let's talk about Lego Masters season 7.
Wow.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I remember watching the first season many years ago, and when the show got explained to me, I'm like, how is this going to work?
That's exactly my thoughts.
But then you got Hamish Blake, and I'm like, this is going to go forever.
I didn't think that would have been arrogant if I thought the next bit. But when I'm with you. When it first came up, I was like, I don't know if that'll work. Even when we did it, because we sort of record it at the end of the year, it takes a long time to edit because there's a lot of cameras on benches. And there's 15 hours of Lego building in every episode, so it's a long edit. And then so it is like 6 months later. So there was that first year after we'd made it, we were like, well, it felt fun.
Yeah.
But then the further away you got from it, you're like, we were just in a shed playing with Lego. I wonder if this is a TV show or if this is going to be the biggest embarrassment of all time. But it has worked.
I've got one for you. So there's 7 countries. Obviously, Australia's one of them.
Yep.
So there's 4 Australian teams and 6 internationals.
Yep.
Do you ever get a little bit of sympathy for Australia? Like, do you ever want to knock over the international ones?
Well, I mean, you spot on. Like, even we've stacked the deck. Like we've got like far more Australian teams in this battle than international ones. So it's already stinks of rigging. But after that, no, I do love the internationals. Like for the people that have watched the show, the Swedish team, the team from Finland, our Chinese team are hilarious.
Yeah,
there's like a lot of fans. They're making a lot of fans in Australia. It could be anyone's game.
Yeah. What's the audition process for this? Because it kind of blows my mind because it takes forever to build Lego. So how do you weed out thousands of people building Lego to just get them on the show?
It's usually a pretty hefty. It is a hefty audition process. This particular season, because we're Grandmasters of the Galaxy, which is just a fancy way of saying the best in the world and the galaxy. Everyone on the show this season has won their country's version or were a finalist in their country's version. So the weeding has been done in this particular instance because they're all coming in as winners or at least grand finalists in their country. But usually, yes, it's a lot of... There's producers of the show that kind of go around Australia and watch people
build Lego.
Watch people build.
Oh my!
It's a mini test too. You don't do the full 12 hours.
Yeah, okay.
So it's sort of like we're not going to give you 3 million bricks. What can you do with 300? And we'll see how you go.
To really test them, you've got. Brickman's a star of the show as well. Right?
Yes, he is.
He really just doesn't hold it together, but he does a lot of heavy lifting. You get people every year contribute. I mean, Sophie Monk. Scotty Cam, your mate Andy.
Special surprise recurring guest Sophie Monk.
Is there anyone in Aussie TV that you'd like to have on there that you've approached that hasn't done it, or anyone that you'd like to have on?
Good question. Look, we've had a couple of people have a crack through the Christmas specials, the Brixmas specials. I mean, God, we'd be we'd be open to anyone. We're really not closing it off because I think it comes down to like if you like it, you'll be good at it. If I was just like, all right, let's get Larry Emder on, and he was like, I don't really like Lego, I wouldn't force him because I think you really do have to enjoy it to be in there for 10 hours making something.
And if you've got kids as well, you're halfway there.
You are. You've probably put in a bit of time on the Lego bags. Yeah.
Do you get to keep the Lego? And a lot of people ask me, do you ever see them making Lego Masters? Because I was shooting at Fox. I don't know if it was last year at Fox Studios.
Yeah.
And you guys were there. We couldn't get it in. Like you guys had security and everyone around you.
It's probably for the Lego. I think we have about $1 million worth of Lego.
It's legit for the Lego. It is.
When they do the Lego, Hamish, do they have like a sheet of paper they follow that they want to build, or is it just off the cuff?
Mate, really good question. I'm blown away by the lack of planning. Sometimes it's just like they'll be like, all right, we're building, a theme park.
Yeah.
And then just have like 5 things written on the page, like, do Ferris wheel, do outside of theme park. I'm like, guys, when I have to build a car at home out of Lego, it's 400 steps.
Yeah.
And you guys are building like 10,000 pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, who's more stressed, these Lego contestants when they're doing a challenge, or you when you're baking one of your kids' cakes that are all-nighters?
Do you know what? It is wild, the sympathy that the cakes has given me for the contestants, because I'm like, oh my God, this is Lego.
Yeah.
Except probably it's them, because I've got I just know I need to get it done by sunrise, ideally. There have been some times where I've been making a cake and going, uh-oh, it's light outside.
Uh-oh.
There was one year where I finished at about 7 in the morning, and that's too late, I realized.
Yeah.
Like I was walking downstairs, like down the stairs in our house, like to go to bed, and my daughter was getting up. And she was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm still making the cake. Good morning. Try not to touch it. There's some rice bubbles on the bench. So I would say the contestants are under more pressure because they have that. I should actually impose a time limit on myself, because my brain won't focus unless it's past due.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like same at school, same as everything. I cannot do something unless it's not even like the time pressure. It's like it just has to be late, and then I will finally do it. So those cake nights, I'm like, every year it's the same. I could go deep psychologically on the cake nights, because every year I am just like furious at myself, going, every year you do this, like you knew this was coming.
Yeah, 12 months.
Plan. Do something at 4 in the afternoon, even if it's just basic, like mixing icing. Just get ready. And my brain won't do it until it's like 1 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And then I have a moment where I go, all right, enough mucking around. Like we have to make this thing, and that's when I do it.
But you're fighting the good fight because it's for the kids,
That's
and
it.
Australia follows along. Everyone follows along as well.
Yeah, well, I think I sort of started realizing if I go, okay, I'm going to put it on Instagram, I can't escape either.
Yeah.
Like that adds to the pressure, which forces me to do it.
Now, speaking of late nights, I say we, as pretty much everyone at Triple M, we had a late night on the weekend. We had a long weekend. It was my 40th birthday party with my wife, and I got carried away. Same thing. I was going to finish at midnight. Then it was 5,
That's
6,
your 40th.
7.
Yeah.
But I'm in the Hurt Locker, and you are a radio king. You're a TV king, but you are a radio veteran.
Yep.
Do you have any advice for me? Did you ever turn up to work hungover?
Yeah,
Yours was a bit later though when you started.
Yeah, which is even worse. 'Cause, like, you're completely allowed. Like it should be. You could even just have like you could go to bed at 9 o'clock and turn up in a bad state.
Yeah.
Like that's unfair with breakfast radio.
That's right.
We would drive radio, and we had a few because we were on drive radio like from when predominantly like from when we were like 23 to 30. So you're gonna hit some nights out in that 7-year period of your life. We thought we got away from one once where it was post Logies. Must have been the Monday morning after the Logies, and Andy and I were like pretty dusty. We're like, I think we've got away with this. Like, I think we've had a decent show. We've had about 9 Red Bulls, and I think we've got away with
I
this.
was at 6 this morning.
Yeah.
My heart rate's about $2.50. I'm hanging on here.
Yeah, no, it's great. Your Garmin's going wild. Abnormal heart rate. Abnormal heart rate. And we sort of finished on air, and we were just quietly going, well done, man. I think we might have done that. And our boss popped his head in and went, you get 1 hungover show a year? And that was it. Okay.
no.
You don't want to hear that.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm waiting for that call. It's the same boss.
Grumpy Dave.
I've got 3 missed calls of him right now, actually.
Well, when you're like, how can he tell? Like, he honed his skills with us.
Yeah, wow.
He dialed it in.
Am I right? You celebrated your 20th anniversary for Hamish and Andy recently?
Yes.
Wow.
Someone figured that out. That it was our
Yeah.
20-year. That might have been last year.
Wow. Did you do anything for it?
Makes
or
you feel
just-
old, but then you go, but hang on a sec, we started at 20. So
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay. Then, I mean, of all the things to have 20 years of, at least it's Ando. No, we didn't really do, I mean, we didn't really know. I think because we don't actually know the date. We know it was sometime kind of like late in November. The very first radio show we did was a Monday night radio show where we were at a station in Melbourne, and we pretty much just like begged them to give us a slot. Like we did it for free, and they were just like, sure. And we would come in all week. Like we'd be in the office all week
Really?
for our Monday night radio. It's like doing nothing, but just using the internet.
Yeah.
This was like, we didn't have the internet at home. This is back in the days where like home internet was
Dial-up.
was a legitimate charge. So we were like, oh, this is awesome. We've got an office. Like, let's just go to the office and use the internet all week. So we basically did it. Yeah, we did it. For
Not
the
a bad
internet.
career you made, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him back.
Yeah, big time, big time. We eight
Now we
years.
give them internet.
8 years the podcast has been running, Hamish and Andy.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You would have been one of the first people to do podcasts.
Yes, we were early. It looks like in hindsight it looks clever, but we just did it because we were like, we want to still kind of keep doing this, and we only sort of want to do it once a week. So that turned out to be a fortuitous jump across to podcasting, because it's one of those ones where people go, oh my God, strategic, well done. But mostly accidental.
Mostly. We joke, us joke about, because you're the number one podcast in the country. And we say that Triple M Breakfast is number one, or sometimes we go 1 and 2. Do you look at the surveys or the ratings?
No.
Thank God.
No.
Yeah.
Thank God.
We are
'cause
glad.
We often say that we've crept into one. And the thing about it,
Oh, you just throw it out there?
no one challenges
Very
us.
Trumpy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a great.
Yeah.
We used to do that. We used to marvel at people that did that a bit, because we're like, who's checking?
No one's
No.
checking.
No
No
one
one's
does.
checking. Back in radio days, it used to be a thing. I don't know if it still happens or not, but if you, like, every 6 weeks, the radio survey comes out for people that don't follow this, which is everyone listening.
else but us.
No
Yeah.
no one listening to radio cares about the ratings. But when you work in radio,
It's everything.
everyone thinks it's important. So it comes out every 6 weeks, and it used to be a thing where if it was number one or whatever, people would go on Instagram, they're all like have a one balloon and they had a bottle of champagne or something, like, thank you, Sydney, like, or there's a few people in Melbourne that like love the every 6 weeks. It's like, we couldn't do it without you. There was a period where we came back to radio, like Ando and I, we came back and we did drive for a couple of years. And in Sydney, I think we were number 6. Like, we'd gone from being number 1 back in the day, and we're just number 6.
Number 6.
But we didn't check. And I was like, we should do one of those. Like, when someone raised this to us once, we actually got caught out in an interview. We're chatting to Perth because we're a national show. And they're like, how do you guys feel about the show's ratings? We're like, yeah, great. Like, and they're like, number 5. And we're like, really? We thought we were number 1.
What's happened to us?
we were number 1 back in the day. So it can sneak away from you if you don't pay attention to it. But with the number 6 in Sydney, I was like, there was 6 members of our team.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I think we should do a post where we're like, thank you so much, Sydney. Like, it's an absolute pleasure to be your drive show. And everyone's holding up the number 1 finger.
Yes.
But what we meant is cumulatively, you have to add up all the number 1 fingers. And that's
That
what
makes
gives us our
That's
position.
great.
That's what we'll get all 13 people in our team to come in
Do it.
for
Yeah.
next
Like,
week. when the
guys, we
survey-
did it. Can't believe the survey result. Everyone holding up number 1.
Some of them are holding up 2.
Yeah, everyone's got a different number.
28th in Sydney.
There we go. We got Paul in the bottom corner. He's got his 9 fingers up.
Oh, Hamish, absolute pleasure to have you in. We want to have you in more. We might kind of bully you up
Guys,
from your podcast.
I'm in the building rarely, but when I'm here, I'm
get
in.
ya.
We know your day now, so you're in
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah,
We're
you
going to wait for you.
Exactly.
Put a
Look
net
out.
up.
You're a superstar, mate. Thank you so much for your time.
Total pleasure, guys.
And
Thanks.